Yo, what's good? What's happening? We back. Brand new episode of Threes from the Ring podcast. It's your boy Chris J. Got the boy Trail Sav here.
You're
Got the boy Tyler here.
Yo.
Alright, first time in a minute, we all been present for an episode. So shout out to us when it comes to that. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Make sure you share with your people, let them know, rock with us and all of that. Man, we got plenty of content for you guys to check out and keep. And make sure you follow the TikTok page as well. Tweeking Media on there. Follow us on Twitter at Threes from the Ring and basketball page as well. We're gonna have a good show for you guys. We're gonna go ahead and get straight into wrestling this time around. So, fair amount of things happen on the WWE side of things. We're well into WrestleMania season. On top of that, AEW did do something as well, but we'll go ahead and talk about the unfortunate, not so beloved, when it comes to this show, but it is what it is. Now, did they do something? They very much did. AEW Revolution was this past weekend. And they also made a good deal with, well, I wouldn't say a good deal, but they made a deal with Amazon to start premiering their pay-per-views. Will be on there, but you have to pay the 50 ball on top of your Amazon membership to watch said pay-per-views and all of that live. So either way, they did something, but it's like you spending money just to really watch the shit. But at least you have a easier source to find it if you want to pay through it for legal means. So shout out to Tony Khan for doing something when it came to that. Now, AEW Revolution, things did happen. We had the first black number one contendership match for the AEW Championship.
hey, bro.
That cornball brother Swerve and Samantha Irvin's husband, G.
No, I can't even blame Ricochet for that one, okay? One, because Ricochet ain't say it.
I know he didn't, but still, he was in the match.
Let me say this, bro. Let me say this. With all due respect, we gotta stop with the semantics, bro. And you're trying... For all the niggas that clapped in there, because I'm pretty sure about 80% of the reporters that clapped during that press conference was white. You ain't have to clap for that, because it's a nothing burger, big dog. My nigga, the first two black male wrestlers to fight for a number one contendership for the AEW title as a statement. It should be a thing that happens.
It has happened before.
But not in AEW. But AEW,
but that's the point. It shouldn't matter what company. It's not like it hasn't happened before. It's stupid to just announce it like that.
The reason you get the call of saying this is the first black whatever, because it's a historical moment of us not being able to achieve the same thing our white counterparts do. That's when you get this is the first black block. Sasha and Bianca got that title because what happened? There was the two first black women to main event of WrestleMania. That's big. Historically, it's only been blonde-haired women who even fought at WrestleMania for a title. If they got to wrestle at all, most of the time. So being two black women in WWE, which, and sometimes it looked like Vince McMahon didn't even care about black women, that's what made it big, right? History making at AEW is not history making because you're young. There has been nothing. Tony Khan hasn't put anything in place that said you can't reach this. Because if you say this is the first two black people to do this, you are saying there was a time when no black people could do it.
Exactly.
It's never been that way. It just, especially in wrestling, when stars make the matches. My nigga, it's the same thing that's going on with WWE. It's about 3 of y'all, okay? So eventually, what will happen? Both of you niggas who's I'm talking about 3 black people that is over. Both of you niggas will eventually be in a title eliminator match. But it's not history making. History making is doing something that we couldn't even fathom couldn't be done, right? But it is what it is. I just wish that we wouldn't apply stuff that's mediocre. That's mediocre. And then he put on Twitter, I ruffled a few feathers with this one. My nigga.
And then when you say stuff like that, it's like, okay, are you doing it are you speaking of it from a genuine place, or are you doing it to troll?
Nigga, he's being performative. There's no trolling with that. He's just being performative. Like he's saying this to get, and this only happened. This whole thing only happened when he came out with that song, whatever song that no one listens to, when he called women black and ugly. Like, so it's being performative. I think Swerve is one of the best wrestlers out here.
He can work.
It's not even close.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and people like to throw out like somebody's a superstar or they're a star in their business. I think out of all the people that AEW like to prop up to say stars, Swerve is one of the freaking few. If he went to a Royal Rumble, people would actually know his music and do the little dance when he come out. That in itself is a big deal. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, you don't have to freaking use the goddamn performative language to get the... Look, bro, there's one thing about our culture. There's one thing about our culture. My nigga, if we rock with you, we gonna rock with you. It ain't nothing you can do that make it say, oh, black people come here. Now, niggas who lived in nothing but white neighborhoods their whole entire life, not trying to talk, but niggas who ain't really like culture focused wouldn't really understand that. But nigga, we got behind Rey Mysterio because the nigga said 619 and he did the finish and we liked it. Nigga, we got behind Jeff Hardy because he did his little dance. We came out the ring and he flipped. Like, there's nothing you can do. Yeah, it's on your end, Chris. There's nothing you can do to make us be like, we behind you. My nigga, this not Family Feud. We not rooting for you because you black, nigga. We're rooting for you because you a wrestler.
Exactly. Now, like you said, like when it's a spot where somebody, you know, like us hasn't been in those spots, then yeah, it makes more sense to push, you know, to push that point to the front. Like, yeah, he is the first to do this, you know, here. But for a number one contenders match, it's like,
my nigga, what's next? You gonna be the first black person to beat Moxley? What's after that? You gonna be the first. You gonna be the first black person to.
That might be a feat because Moxley over there looking like AEW Lesnar.
Like, I just think again, I honestly think we could do away with the performative stuff when it comes to being the first black son. Let history speak for itself.
Yeah,
that's all that matters, is letting history speak for itself. When it's some historical, we know because we had that feeling, right? All right, it felt good when Kofi won that title because we seen Kofi struggle. We seen him go through the ups and the downs of being placed in that mid-card, and we know Kofi can be better. We were fooled to think that Kofi couldn't put a mic in his hand and talk. Like, that was the type of things that we saw. So when Kofi got the opportunity, that low-key wasn't his opportunity, we went behind it because we were like, this can be our one little chance to get the representation that we need in that company. But imagine Kofi and Xavier Woods be like, we are the first black tag team to win the tag team titles multiple times on Monday Night Raw. Niggas will look at them and be like, bro, what does that mean? What does it mean?
Yeah.
So, and there's different ways you can incorporate the culture into this. Bianca, Jay, and Naomi did it countless times, incorporating their culture into their run without having to use semantics, without having to use things to make people be like, I gotta clap because if I don't clap, it's a little racist. Like they did the big three thing, and they all dressed up as different like Beyonce stuff, I believe.
Yeah,
that's culture. That's their culture. That's our culture. We do it. Naomi and Bianca,
they just did the Bring It On.
Yeah,
our culture. My nigga, what Gabrielle Union in that squad? What was the screen time in that movie that they had?
A fair amount. They had a fair amount. And
they was like the opposing
opposing team that still won.
We gravitated to them without having the same as the same amount of screen time that their white counterparts did. But that's our culture. Like we love that. You can Bring It On. Low key wasn't really a movie for us, but they love that art so much. It became ingrained into our culture. Like I just think it's like you panhandling for claps. From who? Meltzer? Sap? I rock with Sap, but Sap? For who?
Look, man, just so we can wrap this up, he's panhandling for niggas that didn't know they were black until I'd say it like this. Until Trayvon Martin got killed. That's who they panhandling for.
That's crazy. I ain't clipping that one.
And look, no, it's the truth. I'm sorry, you could look, but he's panhandling for the people that didn't know they were black until Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown and all those situations occurred. Those people, the people who didn't know they were black until they went to insert HBCU here and did their first swag surgery. Those people who don't have culture. That's who he is panhandling for. As I like to call them, new niggas. It's true. It is what it is. If you don't like it, you probably who I'm talking about. Because I was a proud black man for many of years. Shout out to Wardell Jefferson for raising me as such. But look, man, y'all put yourselves in this situation. Because the ones who raised happy and black probably get a snap and that's it, G. But yeah, so that's what AEW did, and also Moxley is still champion, and now he got to deal with Swerve, and there's going to probably be a lot of racial aspects to this. It's going to look like Higher Learning. If you never watched Higher Learning, it is a black movie that featured Ice Cube, Omar Epps, and Omar Epps was a track star, and he hung out with Ice Cube, was pro-black, and that led to him going against white Nazis, and that is already the storyline we are at with Moxley and them. So, hey, enjoy, because when Swerve eats that pin,
I think because I honestly think sometimes I think we be a smidget too harsh on them niggas, right? I think the internet sometimes be a smidget too harsh on AEW in general, right? I think they expect AEW from both sides, the hardcore fans of them and the hardcore haters. I think them people expect AEW to do things that AEW can't do. So, and I'm not saying like they can't be successful, which they are successful. It's an extremely successful wrestling thing. But I think that like everybody be too harsh or have expectations for the secondary wrestling promotion, right? I say all that to say a lot of things turns me off when I try to tune in to that product, right? I think like they get a lot of best wrestlers in the world. The Will Ospreays, the Swerves, Ricochet. A lot of the best wrestlers in the world. but they do such corny things, and I hate corniness, bro.
We
Right?
all do.
Then you got the XE guys who throw their weight around, and it hinders the AEW dudes. I don't know what contract Cope got in that business, but for him to say, "Hey, I'm not gonna take the pin, Jack. Get my best friend Christian to come take this pin for me," and niggas are behind Christian. The fans like Christian, so for Christian to lose his #1 contendership contract because the nigga Cope ain't want to take the pin.
Nasty work.
That's the point of Christian's career. Laying on his back for other people. But
Unfortunately.
and it's crazy because they had a crazy good pay-per-view. Ain't with all the super blood stuff that they do. I just don't like a lot of blood. I'm cool with like seeing a cut here and there, be like, oh, they scrapping. But then when you start getting gory, I'm Gucci on that. But like, imagine if Tony Storm and Mariah May, imagine if they main evented, and you got the DN sign at the end of the pay-per-view. It would have been a top 10 pay-per-view of all time. Niggas would have forgot about the Moxley and Cope stinker. But I digress. I just think that company got to stop being corny.
Simple as that. That's their downfall. It really is. But let's go ahead and move on to the WWE side of things. So as we kind of preluded through our discussion of the AEW thing, Naomi, Bianca Jay storyline. One, I just want to say this. You guys got to let the story play out. Let it play out. I get it. We want things to happen instantly. We want it to happen now. But sometimes you got to let things play out. And I think that's where a lot of people's downfall or just some people's impatience was with the storyline in itself. One, we still don't know why Jay was out. One, Shayna Baszler situation, I don't think that has anything to do with anything. It happened. But I feel like that's not why she was gone. But whatever Jay got going on, clearly she's focused and back at it. So, one, we have to see Jay. So, Tyler, before we do start, because you wasn't on last week's episode, your thoughts on just Jay's return before we get into this? Just the elimination part. I just want your reaction and thoughts on it.
So, I'm glad you brought that up because I actually seen like another clip of it today where they were showing like the audio of Bianca inside the pod while it was happening. They're so good at just selling it with their emotions, which is why I like the route that they're going with this. I liked it. I'm liking what they're doing. I think Jay coming back and being pretty harsh on Naomi first, but them saving the segment for when she's gonna eventually confront Bianca. But them saving that part is the kicker, because that's when we're gonna see if Bianca really did have something to do with it, or if she's like, my hands are clean and all this. But it's fun so far. The segment that they had on Friday, again, they're both of them are really good with selling it with just their emotion alone.
Definitely
agree. I didn't really like. I don't know. Maybe I should stop underestimating it, but it's certain people where I don't see them turn a heel, and then when they do it, okay, I'm like, okay, it's believable. It's not the fact that she cried, but it's the fact that she called her a bitch at the end. The way she did.
And that was like a nice subtle.
That was the selling point.
That was the cherry on top.
But what's funny is in the midst of that promo where she brought up how she sticks up for people and they turn their back on her, she's not wrong.
She's not. But so just
it's like I like the justifiable parts of it too.
Oh, I hear you. So just to kind of recap what happened with that segment. So probably like the second hour of SmackDown, Bianca comes out. She sells. I think she called both of them out. But I think Naomi comes out. For one, she's gonna get new theme music. It's too happy. Yeah. And unless you're about to have a black glow type, you dig, we'll see where that goes. But or just gonna have to really use dark colors, like an evil purple. But Naomi comes out, and Bianca was like, "All right, what happened?" Naomi does the classic run around, like, "Hey, look, I had your back." Bianca like, "You ain't answering the question. What happened?" Naomi still runs around it. Then like Bianca like, "All right, look, what the happened? What's going on?" And then Naomi says, "I did it. I did it for you, Bianca. I did it for you." Channeling her father-in-law. And I was like, look, man, I love this. I love it. Look, everybody in the room was engaged when I was watching it. Gee, let's put it that way. So then I'm just like, yep, I wasn't expecting this. And then because the whole time I thought it was going to lead to Bianca like, okay. But Naomi actually being the one to go heel is refreshing for her character and her reasoning. I get, like, I totally do get it. Especially knowing that there's a certain person in another company who did cause her to kind of dip off the first time because you had her back. And we're not going to talk about that anymore. But valid point. It's a very valid point here.
That was the first thing I thought of when she said it, though.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, but that was swept under the rug very quickly by our demographic. But either way, Naomi came back, did her thing. So Bianca just walks out like while Naomi just spewing like, hey, and then it's just something about just like, look, a black woman using the B word is crazy. And at first, I really thought Bianca was about when Naomi just said, well, forget you then. I was like, okay, either Bianca's about to go back.
Also telling that Bianca, is telling that she didn't go back up there and say, because the B word means you finna fight.
Exactly, especially in that tone. Look, tone in just context means everything. And
then she called her ungrateful on top of that.
Yeah, ungrateful. It's like, oh, okay. Black woman terms, that we gotta die now. Somebody's got to die.
Yeah.
So as Bianca was pretty much thinking about contemplating, am I about to whoop her ass now, or I'm just gonna walk away? We see the Titantron, big Escalade truck pulls out. Shout out to Midnight Club Dub Edition, and and Jade comes out, and I was like, oh, okay. When Jada had on, I'm about to stomp somebody out boots on. Yes, they were white, but those boots scream, I'm about to really put these boots on you again. So at this point, I'm like, all right, look, we're about to see what's about to happen. Jade comes out, looks at Bianca. Bianca looks at her, head nod, goes on her way, and proceeds to really whoop Naomi's ass again. Now, this is the part I think people not talking about enough, was when Jade had Naomi in the because her finisher jaded, and Naomi screams Bianca, as if like Bianca was about to come save her, was more telling, and I feel like some people's not talking about, because to me that's a theory.
I didn't even peep that part.
You was in on this too, type screen. Like, hey, but
they do little stuff that people like you said, like that part I didn't catch, but for the people that do catch it, pay attention to that. Because another thing that people noticed was, and it's not as big, but I think it can mean something because they've done stuff like that in the past. So at Chamber, they both wore white while Jade wore black. On Friday, they both wore black. Jade had on white. It's still some type of correlation with that. They're not just doing that for no reason. It's almost like they, it's a setup for a funeral.
pretty much, because and it was definitely Naomi's funeral that night, but it definitely was, because I was like, okay. But overall, I really like the direction, especially because you still got, once again, we still have a month and a week left until we get to Mania. So Bianca's still gonna have a little, hey, I need you to be a part of this while you deal with what you got going on with your main title scene. Plus, in a way, this is definitely about to lead to Jade and Naomi being in Mania, having a match at Mania. So shout out to that middle of the card match they about to have. It's gonna be great. I was gonna say something, but yeah, go ahead.
I just want to know like how they gonna do it. I hate when titles get left off of Mania cards, because the Mania is supposed to be about the titles, and stuff like that. So I hate when they get left off of Mania cards. So maybe the Raw tag titles be left off.
Probably. It's not enough continuity on Raw for me to care about a Raw tag team title match at the moment. It's more going on the SmackDown side for me to be involved with.
Yeah.
Unless they hit them with like a pre-show, if they do them on the Friday before.
Niggas complained about the pre-show, so we're not getting those no more.
Yeah, pre-show's been.
I mean, not the pre-show. I was talking about the SmackDown before or something like that.
I mean, I think I'm not on the side. I'm pretty sure whoever win those belts be happy that they won those belts, but I sometimes think that's not necessarily disrespectful, but like
I get what you're saying though. It's definitely like we've watched plenty of Manias where they just made up a match to throw somebody on the card because they didn't have a definite program for a year. Like for example, WrestleMania 24. You didn't have a specific program for Batista, so you did a SmackDown versus Raw match. You did Batista versus Umaga, just to get them both on the card. You could do something like that for them.
I don't know. I think I hate this in the future, because what I was trying to bring up is I don't want the first women's single match, because this would be the first. I think this would be the first women's single match on Mania that doesn't involve a title.
Yeah, it will be
the first time. I don't want that squandered in any type of way.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
To be on the card. But what does the president set if you don't put the two mid-card titles that you just put in for the women not on the card either?
I agree. And
if you don't put the tag team titles not on the card either. And if you don't put the men's, that's why, or if you don't put the US on the card, or if you don't put the Intercontinental, which I think is going to be on the card. So I know Mania can be a long time, but it's just like Triple H track record. I don't believe he'll do it.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's just right now we only really have, like I said, matches that's guaranteed, at least right now.
All the big matches are guaranteed.
We got four matches guaranteed, and that's the four main titles, men and women. So then I definitely agree the IC title already has something going. I feel like that's about to be a multi-man match. SmackDown tag title, that's going to be our ladder match. That's looking like that's about to be our ladder match right there.
And I think for this one, we only need to have two teams in it.
No, I think this is about to be at least a 4-man tag team match. Motor City Machine Gun, DIY, Pretty Deadly, and Street Profits. Look, they going to war over there, man.
Yeah. So it could be fun. I would say if they do it like that, bring back the TLC at WrestleMania feel.
You can, and I think that's going to be probably the feeling you're going to kind of get from that. So that's what 5. Jade and Naomi's looking like 6. I feel like it's going to be 12 matches. So you still have time to really fill out what you're going to do for both U.S. titles. I already said the IC title, the men's IC title, is like it has a program going on. you got to pray for something for Lyra at this point, because I really don't know, unless Asuka just wants to appear, or Becky says, you know what, I'm here.
Lyra is either going to be in Becky verse or Bailey verse, one of the two, unless Bailey do a stint in NXT. But that's what I'm seeing in my brain.
Possibly. So that's just that. I would say this, Lyra. This is just me booking. So let Lyra do an open challenge that opens door for Becky Lynch or Asuka return to come. Be like, hey, I'm here. Big pop.
I like that.
I like that idea. That way, it don't necessarily feel forced. Like you just threw somebody on the card with her. You get a good enough name, like you said, a Becky or Asuka. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, like Lyra
Green might be SOL. I'm gonna be honest. Chelsea Green might be the one that's SOL. It's just.
I mean, Lyra has opponents.
She do.
She has opponents. She has the whole the Chad Gable crew member.
Ivy Nile, but she just beat her, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's who we looking at on that end. Mm-hmm. So, I don't mind that, but I just don't want nobody left off the card.
No, I get it. And the thing is, that's just the unfortunate truth. It's nowadays compared to previous years, it's so much fucking talent now, G.
Yeah.
So it's like you trying to squeeze all the titles in, which, like, I think Chelsea, the women's US title might be SOL potentially. I don't want to see her and Michin do anything unless Piper is about to flip on Chelsea Green. That's the only way I could see that touching the card and not a SmackDown, WrestleMania SmackDown type thing. Like it, because at this rate, you have just me looking at the shit. You have at least 3 grudge type matches that can happen. Finn and Dom is looking like that's going to be a thing.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, and then on top of it, we already talked about
both of them are in multi-man with the IC title.
Yeah, so unless that's about to be a thing, but you could separate them from that. You got Jade and Naomi, that's 2. And I feel like that's guaranteed to happen. And then third one. Oh, and then Solo and Jacob. Like, even though
Solo and Jacob don't need to be in a come on, bro.
That could
it's something going on. I don't
SmackDown on Mania. That could be SmackDown Mania.
Give me SmackDown, because bro, I'm sorry, bro. Solo not like that to have a single match at Mania.
I agree.
You brought up Damian and Drew, right? Because they're more like
that's going to be on the card too, either way as well. That's one of those. You can't leave those 2 off the card. That's like the Batista Umaga. You can't leave them off the card type.
But because of that, that's another reason why I don't necessarily think that Solo and Jacob should get that one-on-one at Mania. You can take that spot and get that to one of the women. It's not to hold them off, but like he said, like Solo is
he not like that, bro.
Only way I can see them making the Mania, unless they just say, "Hey, fuck it, we're gonna go after LA Knight for the US title," just to you kind of add in something.
I mean,
I think that probably makes more sense.
I think that's better. Like you have them niggas fighting over LA Knight stuff, but like we gotta keep it a beam, bro. Like, well, Solo not like that. I don't want to see Solo in no match, bro. You see, he ain't like that. If he was like that, yeah, get Solo in that match. Like Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, like that. Niggas sleeping on Damian Priest right now. Understandable. People feel like he's been in a little bit too much. Cool. But Solo? mean, nobody want to see Jacob carry Solo to a match.
Nor do I.
Like, bro, and I'm getting tired of talking about how bad Solo is, but that nigga huff. He huff. I don't even think, like, you can't even, like, come to me and be like, you know, you seen that last Solo Sikoa match? I'm alive. Like, nah, bro. Nobody watch that, man.
Please. Well, nah, you ain't lying though. I hear you. But somebody's gonna look at the end of the day. Somebody's gonna be on. Somebody got to be on that SmackDown WrestleMania show, man. Somebody got to. You got to eat that L. Simple as that. I'm sorry. But hey, either way, we get in a women's grudge match on Type You Dig for Mania. I love it.
Me too.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how Naomi does get her lick back, because Jade has been legit whooping her ass every opportunity she gets. Damn, another person that's about to be SOL is about to be Nia Jax, and she's had a hell of a year.
I was actually gonna bring it up when we was talking about the women's US title. Maybe it's they run it back between Chelsea and Nia, and that's when Piper maybe turns on her or something like that. But
Actually,
again, they might get left off entirely. So it's to be seen.
like,
I don't know, man. I think I can do without seeing Nia Jax in a match. To be honest with you,
like she's been having a hell of a year, man. So like,
it's no shade to her. It's just like,
no, I get it.
You live.
Like I said, it's too much freaking talent right now. Heck, I didn't even mention the women's tag titles. Well, shit, honestly, you could. Ugh. No, that I don't. Look, see, again, SmackDown on WrestleMania SmackDown. It's gonna be a lit card.
Hey,
but let's go ahead and move on. Raw MSG. So, like, Raw last night was at Madison Square Garden. So, you know they're going to overbook that card, lock them up. And plus, this is the last American show in the United States
for like the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, next 3-4 weeks, honestly. So, get ready to watch Raw at 12 o'clock, fellas. So, hey, look, they said Netflix wasn't playing with it. Said, look, every show is going to be live on top of it, no matter where they at. So, it's going to be crazy when they go when they had that Japan tour. But yeah, so
we gonna run back the clips of us saying niggas gotta watch wrestling on YouTube at 3 a.m.
Subtitles, nigga. 3 a.m. Sick freak. But but either way though, but yeah, so Raw last night was really good. That was a really great episode. Going further in the storyline of Bianca and her involvement with the EO and Rhea match, which led to EO winning the belt last week. So shout out to EO when it came to that. And setting up that we're about to get a triple threat match. On that segment, once again, fire. And EO getting literally moshed by these big giant ass women. And it's like, look, I can beat both y'all ass, and I have. So
Rhea, I don't think either of them. No, Bianca beat her 1-on-1 before, but Rhea shit hasn't. Huh?
She still has whooped her ass.
No, yeah, but Rhea hasn't beat her at all. I think they said she hasn't beat her even going back to NXT.
Once again, EO said like, "I beat your ass."
She proceeded to slap the piss out of both of them.
Slapped the hell out of them, walked off and started dancing around, which is hilarious. Also, shout out to EO's English, really great. Like that wasn't. First, I was concerned. I was kind of concerned. I was like, because I'm be honest, they don't let her speak English like that. It's really good, really freaking good. So, but either way though, that was a good situation in regards to just, hey, this is about to be a triple threat. Enjoy. And somebody put up a point on Twitter, depending on how this storyline goes, it could main event.
I was just.
It could.
It's got the potential to be. The match itself has the potential to be like one of. It could be up there as one of those ones, like for real. Because the last time, remember, it was Charlotte, Io, and Bianca. That triple threat went hard.
Definitely did.
That was damn near the best card match on the card.
No, it definitely was. But like this has potential because keep it G real from you guys. Jay and Gunther is not about to make.
They opening the show. They
that is about to open up either night 1 or night 2. So you guys be ready to eat.
I don't know. Don't the winner of the Rumble main event Mania?
That's what, remember, I brought that up a couple weeks back. They can, but they've changed it based on what they got going on. Like, obviously, if Cody or somebody would have won again, probably getting that main event. They maneuvered it because you're not. If we getting Punk, Roman, and Seth, there's no way you can convince me that Jay and Gunther, and they can have a banger of a match, but you can't convince me that that's you selling me that as a main event over those three. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It'll suck for Gunther, but
I mean that whole feud sucks for Gunther.
Yeah,
like Gunther needs somebody who can push him. Like you sticking him with the Damian Priest is who else? Literally Damian Priest and Jey Uso. Your reign gonna be a little bit mid, but when he was when he was wrestling with the Sami Zayns and all his title things with the Chad Gable, that pushed Gunther. Like, if you ain't got that working for you, like, it's just gonna be hard for him to have a respectable match. Like, Jey Uso got the whole Yeet Man thing behind him, so he's gonna be great when it comes to crowd reaction, crowd thing. If you not having Gunther chop that nigga every single week till he can't get chopped anymore, it's curtains for that feud.
Every weekend.
He just choked.
I mean, you gotta chop that. You gotta kill that nigga, bro. Like this.
But to really sell me,
I'm torn on who I think really is winning this match too.
I think Gunther should win. I don't think you are in a predicament if Jey Uso wins that title. Not on the sense of Jey Uso can't wrestle, this, that. In the sense of my nigga, what's next? Who do you want to see take that belt off Jey?
Because all you're doing is setting him up that he has to see a gauntlet of Seth, Punk, and even Roman.
And then what you want to turn one of them heel?
At this point, Seth is looking like the evil guy here, but
yeah,
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Like you said, you got Seth, Roman, all them dudes. Who like? I go Gunther. You have Gunther hold that title till the Slam. And then you have Punk take it away from him. Then you have Punk hold that joint till Mania.
Probably if they doing King of the Ring this year, he probably hold it till King of the Ring.
No, I think you hold it. I think he holds it. Punk takes it away from him at like SummerSlam, or you take it away from the pay-per-view before SummerSlam, like Money in the Bank or something like that. You do the Summer of Punk, some AEW couldn't do. You do the Summer of Punk. Punk then holds that belt till Mania. He get his WrestleMania main event against like a Roman or somebody like that. He loses, mind you, but he still, or he wins and somebody cash in on like the Monday night after Mania or something like that. But I think if you saying like, hey, how can I get the most ratings for the E right now? Or how can I get more or keep this hot flame going? It's not with Jey Uso. You put that belt on Punk and you starting the summer off with the Summer of Punk with everybody. That's what everybody want right now. They want Punk to have a long title reign in the summer, doing matches, not getting injured. You win. You automatically win. Like, and then you can go heel Punk, which is good. You can go face Punk, which is good. Punk and Heyman, Punk without Heyman. But Punk, I don't think necessarily Punk is like Cody. Cody himself is he is good when he's chasing. Like, you know, Roman is good when he got the title and not necessarily chasing. Like, Roman is good to he is the, if somebody beat Roman, because he's at that echelon now, if somebody beat Roman, they get the good rub. Somebody like Punk is good when he's on top. So he's the top guy. That's when Punk is the best. Like, for now, I don't like what you're just gonna have Punk. If he's not going for the title, what is Punk doing next? And do you know the president you set? If you think niggas see Triple H as a bad booker now, do you know what niggas gonna say about him if Jey Uso beats CM Punk?
Yeah, not a good look.
Nigga, I don't even want to be there.
Thing is, I get everything coming from, because regardless, Punk is probably gonna be. Is he gonna be, like I said? I think he's gonna be one of the people holding the belt really soon. If Jay wins, I don't think that reign is going to be long. He's not going.
Yeah, I think he's going.
Not going to be a strong, maybe 2-month reign. We want to have that just him doing the entrance with the belt, maybe for a good couple of months. By then, because at that point, Matt, because I'm telling you, bro. You just let the fans get yeeted out, because we're almost there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Let them have that little 1-2 month and a half. Yoink that. Let's see. Like at this point, then, because literally it's set up for Punk to legit take it. Hell, you can, or even Seth or Roman. I think they ain't gonna touch a belt for a minute.
Because honestly, whoever comes out that triple threat, they probably gonna put like some type of, if they doing the triple threat, they probably put a stipulation on it. Winner gets a title shot night after Mania or something like that, or the next pay-per-view.
He trying to set Jay up to be his feelings destroyed.
Well, okay, so that XL Roman winning, because if Roman wins, RIP Jay title. Because
whoever wins that, because I think whoever comes out of this triple threat, if they're doing it, it goes one of two ways. One of them is gonna solo feud each other. It's either gonna be Punk Seth do another match again, or Punk Roman.
They rubber match though?
They won and won.
Technically.
They 1-1?
Yeah, because they had the Raw premiere and then the steel cage.
Yeah.
And then Roman hasn't fought either of them one-on-one in forever, so.
Because you can really.
Because whoever gets the title shot is gonna cost them the match against Jay, and that's gonna lead to them, going back and forth. Jay gets another opponent here that gets the return match with Gunther, or he gets somebody new. Like it's a way you can do it where he gets a 1-2 month reign, he drops it by King of the Ring or Money in the Bank.
I respect Jay
because especially if you set it up for the summer of Punk, Punk needs to win by May.
Yeah.
June,
May or June.
For the summer of Punk, I think that's the goal, bro. Like, cause you need a reason to say, if Cena being part-time farewell tour, I hate it, but if that's the case, if it's part-time Cena farewell tour, you need somebody to put butts in seats on the Raw side. And I don't think Jay can do that. Jay is he's a good crowd type thing. Like,
I don't think they're counting on it though.
I think they are counting on it. I think Triple H literally thinks Jay is a ticket to keep selling tickets, bro.
He's
not to take them to the summer necessarily.
Is he somebody where like you can legit be like, all right, Jay, you can base a whole show around Jay? No, being real. But he is somebody where if you put him with 4 other people, if you put like, okay, I'm gonna use it like how when YouTube TV does, letting you know, hey, here is your thumbnail for SmackDown. You always put your 4 big people, even though like nowadays, but for Netflix, Jay will be one of those 4 people who will be there. Be like, all right, here's Jay, here's Bianca, here's blah blah, and here's blah blah. Those are your 4 people. Jay is one of those people. Now I see somebody be like, all right, I'm about to put Jay Uso on this pay-per-view thumbnail and it's gonna sell. No. He's just one of your core guys. He's a crowd favorite. He's a merch seller and all of those things. Like I said, that's why I said Tyron ain't gonna be no more than 1-2 months. Get it out the way.
It's April,
solidify
May,
the main event Jay Uso thing for good, and then we send him back to where he belongs. I know for Daytra that's the tag scene, but mid-card, high mid-card guy. Simple as that. Like just let the 1 or 2 months do his thing. He doesn't need to have the Kofi run. He doesn't need to have the OG Daniel Bryan run.
It's gonna become the Kofi run. Because after the Kofi run, they really didn't have anything for him. Like they played off of the Randy Orton calling that nigga stupid. Then they Samoa Joe them, and then Brock Lesnar came.
I forgot about the Samoa Joe one.
Yeah.
I really did forget about Samoa. Dang, I really forgot he did.
Samoa Joe to come back. I want Samoa Joe to come back, bro.
Yeah, I would love Samoa Joe to come back, jeez.
I know he's older, but I think with this new regime, Samoa Joe can be big.
Look, man, give me Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe, I ain't gonna hold you. Samoa Joe would probably be in Gunther's spot right now.
Yeah, but that's also why I said we need a Samoa Joe versus Gunther match. I just need to see that match just happen one time.
Man,
Samoa Joe versus
if Daniel Bryan would have stuck around a little bit longer, he'd probably be in the spot Jey Uso's in right now. Jey Uso versus Gunther.
I'm gonna keep crazy. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you.
You know he getting to the
Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan coming back soon. I got my sources. I'm not gonna release my sources. I know niggas gonna be like, nah, he AEW. He coming back soon. I'm not releasing my sources though.
What's his contract looking like, man?
I can't tell y'all all that, but
because he had trouble letting Ricky Starks and Ray Phoenix out of his contract. You think he's gonna let Daniel Bryan out?
Daniel Bryan has better lawyers.
Take Daniel Bryan arm.
Daniel Bryan has better lawyers.
Ain't no more yes lock.
Daniel Bryan has better lawyers.
All I gotta say is they do need a headliner for next year's they need a headliner for next year's Hall of Fame. So
it's probably gonna be the Hardys. Well, I don't think they're going in this year. It's probably gonna be them. They trying to wrap it up. They trying to wrap it up.
They do need one. They do need a tag team. They don't even have a tag team.
I don't want bad back and bad habits in that tag division, bro. Okay, I do not want bad back and bad habits in that tag division.
This is insane.
I'm Gucci. I'm perfectly fine.
Bad habits is insane.
That nigga, I'm straight, bro. I'm straight.
Bad habits.
But last thing on the J, I feel so sorry for this nigga. Because if it's one thing a title shows, is if you got it or if you don't. It shows it, bro. It shows it. So we gonna see if he got it. Because now he the face of Raw when he wins that belt. And if he can't carry that company, the niggas gonna be looking at him like how niggas looked at Rey Mysterio when he had that belt. Niggas said he was the downfall of that era, bro. When he was champion, bro.
I was happy as hell.
You had them fight niggas that was 7 feet.
I was happy as that too. The nigga said he was nigga said he was the downfall.
They had that nigga beat Jack Swagger, and then he got cashed in on Kane the same night.
Look, man, they found Vince every way possible to try to hold Rey Mysterio, G, when he had that belt. He's like, all right, man, you had your moment, damn it.
Shout out to Rey Mysterio, the ultimate team player.
Well, hey, shout out to him. He did have him and Dragon Lee had a good match against the New Day.
50, bro.
50.
Those stem cells real, bro.
themselves in that sacrifice in Mexico he pulled off too. We ain't gonna talk about that.
We flying too close to the sun.
Look, man, we know what happened. We saw the footage.
We going too close to the sun, bro.
But either way, that was a great match though. If it do eventually lead to a New Day versus the Viking Raiders, let it happen, because that's the only way them Raw belts is about to touch Mania.
Yeah. That was the only other thing I was concerned about too. Is like, I wonder where else are they, if they kind of waiting on the Big E storyline, or if they, I don't know where it's going at the moment.
The only how I can see the Big E storyline, what is Big E gonna beat them niggas in a handicap match?
Like,
what's the goal? I said, what's the goal after that?
Because you said Big E up to be that nigga.
I think they blew up the New Day because we might not see Big E again.
That too. That's always been the possibility, is that he's really not, gonna be able to do it again.
Because that's the only reason you blow it up.
Yeah.
Because you blow it up in such a way, it's hard for it to be, together again. But I don't know. Ridge Holland still got to pay for his sins for that one.
Hey man, look, there's people praying for that man to be on the future endeavor list. G, people still praying for that.
Speaking of which, I saw something that came up recently after. I think sometimes I don't be listening. I don't be paying attention to it because it'll happen like directly after something happened. But people are saying that Shinsuke's contract is about to be up like this month.
He can retire for all he wants, G.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I just was taking it with a grain of salt just because he just lost the belt. Sometimes people just be saying shit just to say it.
Pretty much, but also this thing, Shinsuke is 50.
Shinsuke is 50 already?
He old.
Shinsuke old.
Shinsuke's old.
I know him and AJ around the same spot.
He's old, and you see the difference. But he is old, G. So if Shinsuke,
he ain't 50.
He's
45. But
okay.
Oh, he's younger than AJ.
For half of his career.
You gotta remember that Japanese style different.
Yeah.
It's really
very
different.
Stiff.
So he's either he's going to stay here and just enjoy his life here in America, or he's going to sign. Either way, he's signing a contract with the E, and he's just going to chill, be used how he wants to. When H give him that call, hey buddy, I need you, he's going to show up. Or
I
he's like, all right, bro, chill and know.
I wouldn't mind him being a part-time wrestler. Like, I think he deserves it. I think, bro, people gonna say, like, hey, they didn't do as much as they could with Shinsuke, yada 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 yada. I think Shinsuke is the definition of WWE was my retirement plan.
For sure. We've seen a couple guys come in and do that. Even Bobby Roode said his main goal was to come here and be a producer.
Like, is my retirement plan. I think same thing with like the Meek. What's her name? I don't want to mess up her name. Like Miko Sakamura.
Mako Sakamura. Yeah, Mako Sakamura.
Yeah.
I think that was the same thing. I think use that, and I don't think it's nothing wrong to use the E and stuff as a retirement plan. Like,
get it all. You can sit there and say,
what's her name? On their dime, get to live in America on their dime, and then get to surf on their dime. Like, then he get to go back to Japan whenever he want on their dime. Like, I don't really think he cares. If he ends up in AEW, cool. I don't know where they slot him at, but I mean, like, cool. Like, but I just think he used WWE as a retirement plan, and that's what's up. Get the bag. That's the point. I still think he should have beat AJ at Mania to get that belt.
Yes,
but it is what it is. So, stuff happens. I still don't think he had a bad run. He had a great run.
No, he has a good enough run. He has more than a good enough run, and then he's in the way that the E is set up now with how they actually highlight stuff that you did outside of the WWE. Depending on what they may be highlighting it for. When he goes into the Hall of Fame, even if it doesn't look like he has a bunch of WWE highlights, they're gonna bring up all of his New Japan stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna bring up his Noah stuff. They're gonna bring up everything.
His whole Japan career is insane. That's why I'm like, look, he
a legend.
Yeah, legitimately.
And they put Jushin
Tiger.
Jushin Liger.
Yeah, they put him in the Hall of Fame, and that nigga wrestled like 3 times in that company. So, hey, it is what it is, bro. But people gonna have they reasons to talk crap about whatever happens with Shinsuke. If his contract up and they say, all right, nigga, then all right, nigga. If his contract
it's not like we ain't seen it before.
I mean, Funaki was a commentator for WWE for years, and nobody knew that until they say Funaki when they used to announce all the commentators. Shinsuke can do that. Like it ain't. It's so much he can do. He could be an ambassador for WWE. That's what Cena about to do when he leaves. He's gonna be an ambassador.
Matter of fact, that would be the good role for him, because I think trying to do the whole NXT Japan thing.
Probably might not work out, but probably. You know, I think they use Noah as like a partnership for them to send people over there. And I think it's a person from Noah that's in WWE right now. He just wrestled on like Speed, I think. And that's
I know he's talking about. He did just wrestle. He wrestled one of the Viking. Yeah, he wrestled one of the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, so
I was
we
wondering
be
who that
wrong.
was.
We also can be right. But what's next?
Just to wrap up the Raw MSG, the seven Punk steel cage match. Really great steel cage match.
I think I gotta apologize every time I come on this podcast. I called that thing in Naperville Field, and I gotta live with that for the rest of my life, bro.
Hey, he was Naperville Field at one point. He deserved it. It was deserved.
Bro, this nigga's so cold, bro. He might be. I ain't gonna hold you. No bias. He might be on the short list of greatest of all time, bro. You got him, Daniel Bryan, Brett, you know, that type of list. He might be on there for the greatest of all time, bro. Like, at the age he doing it now, he don't have to work I do 50 flips to get a 5-star match from Dave Meltzer type style, but he still has a great match because he know how to tell a story in the ring. Even telling a story with bad knee stuff, like, come on, bro.
Hey, legend, G. Like, that was a great match, really entertaining match, which led to the return of Roman Reigns. Hey, just the way he snatched that nigga out the cage.
Come here, little nigga. Put him in that Melvin headlock.
Y'all saw him get a light jog to the ring. They say Roman unk-status, bro. They say he on that nigga was like.
He do got 5 kids.
Yeah,
look, that man got 2 sets of twins, G. G, I'll be tired too. Shit,
for something.
That man has a budget on Just for Men just to keep that hair black, G. He's like, he has a whole budget.
He done had some gray in there for a while.
Exactly. That's what I said. Look, that man's budget on Just for Men is crazy right now.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. The quick Roman Reigns appreciation. He was destined to fail, bro. And he ain't failed.
Oh.
Like, so many people that they primed, that got leaked out that, like, hey, they making him the guy. So many people turned on them. And Roman Reigns took those and just became the biggest. He probably, to be honest with you, like, I know niggas like to bring up the Attitude Eras and the Hogans. That nigga led WWE into the greatest year they ever had in a long time. Something Cena couldn't even do.
Greatest years. It's still on that track. It's like,
he made multiple stars. I think Cena, if you want to, how many stars does Cena make by them paying to Cena? You might want to throw Punk name in there.
Punk is in there, yes.
Punk. I would say Sheamus.
Disclaimer. I know Punk was a popular wrestler. I know Punk is one of the greatest of all time before he even touched Cena. But him and that Money in the Bank stuff with Cena,
that put him at another level, bro.
Another level. So But you got Punk.
My household name. So
Yeah.
that's what
I don't know if you want to put Edge there.
No, I'll put Edge in there. Edge, Punk.
Let me say this. What person Cena put over got as much star power after that put over that Cody got?
Honestly, the only one is Punk.
The closest to be Punk.
And this the thing is, you want to know how it was greater than what Cena did? Cody got that from a loss. No other person could. Cody became the biggest babyface off a loss to Roman Reigns. Because think about it, we would not be here where we at now if Cody didn't lose. People called it the dumbest decision ever. Having Cody lose is so hot. Imagine, it was a lot of bloodline stuff I personally didn't want to watch too. Kevin Owens got beat up 3 separate occasions by that nigga. But
consistently.
if Cody didn't lose, Cody would not be in the spot he is at now with that belt. About to face John Cena at WrestleMania in Vegas. Probably the biggest WrestleMania main event since I don't know when. If he didn't lose that one match to Roman Reigns, we wouldn't get The Rock in the aspect we got The Rock right now. If it wasn't for like what Roman Reigns did. So niggas gotta bow down on that one, bro.
Yeah.
He did something crazy. He did something nobody thought he could do. Niggas thought he was gonna be Cena 2.0.
They thought that because they threw every bullet that they possibly could at Roman. They tried to, I don't know if I could say this on the pod, they tried to nuke Roman. For real.
Oh, they did. They really did. Especially factoring like during that era, that's the post CM Punk situation. Daniel Bryan is not really there because his neck was in hell. But not a good time. It was a very rough time. Shoot, even watching the product was a rough time. So I totally get it. I totally get it.
And shout out to him for not quitting on himself neither, because something like that could make somebody really quit on himself for real.
Hey, look.
Especially with all that we ended up finding out that he was dealing with the cancer situation. Like that, he was, like you said, he was destined to fail in the eyes of many, but like in his eyes, he knew that he was going to be great. Somehow, some way, he figured it out.
Yeah, like he endured it. That's why you got to really get a man his flowers. Got to. But proceeding back onto, so Roman pulls up, snatches Seth. Seth should have just went ahead and just pinned the nigga. But hey, he could thank Roman for the W. He really can. He could really thank man. Because if he yanks the nigga out the ring, it's a steel cage match. Seth wins once the moment his feet touch the ground. Proceeds to whoop this nigga's ass in the most, like, he was really nice. He could have done worse. But
tried to.
The best part was just the stomp. Stomping a nigga in Jordans is funny. Stomping a nigga in some mics that just came out a few weeks ago was hilarious as hell. So, shout out to Roman for that. And then, for one, wherever the hell Paul Heyman came from is still...
Bro, I never saw him out there at all.
Like, there's
nigga just spawned
footage of him coming to the ring. Because, ow.
Unless he was
under the ring.
Apron.
Look, that man was under the ring. He had to be under the ring, dude. Somebody had to look. He had to be under the ring. Somebody need to give him
and remember on the old SmackDown games when we were like a run in would spawn in, the nigga would just pop up in the ring.
Oh, yep. They used to spawn in.
I'm like, bro, where did you come from? And then they'll pop up with the most wildest weapon ever. How did you pop up with a casket in your hand?
Hey, man. You got the ability to magically appear.
That nigga got the niggas got the Roman Reigns button, kind of like the Paul Heyman button, kind of like they had the Xeno button in Dragon Ball.
He ain't pop.
That nigga, Heyman pops up.
And he ain't even pop up for Roman. He popped up for Punk.
You like, all right, bro, you good?
Do y'all think it's time for the Roman and Heyman breakup?
It's time.
Yeah.
Like, it's about time where you can truly separate them. It's just the direction. Like, I'm curious on the direction it goes with it. Because the funny thing is, Punk really don't need them either. That's the funny thing.
I never knew why people that's great on the mic aligns themselves with Paul Heyman. Is it just an aura thing?
It's that. It's the presence. It's just the natural presence. It's like
I understand why Lesnar needed the nigga.
Yeah. To be honest, most people that he was with outside of Roman and Punk, they kind of needed him though.
Rob Van Dam needed him.
Nah, man, they definitely needed him.
Come on, he the whole show.
But he wasn't like his manager though. He was kind of like an advocate back there. It was the whole ECW connection that they had them together.
It was more of that.
But think about it. He was with Cesaro at one point, Curtis Axel.
Needed him.
Yikes.
Did they throw him with Ryback or no?
I was just thinking the same thing. I don't know.
I don't remember. But once again, I was doing a rough time.
Very,
very rough time.
Very. But yeah, I think
keep him away.
They're gonna put up a poll on Twitter every other month saying, "Do you guys want me to come back? If you don't, I'll never post this again." Proceeds to post it again another 2 months. No, nigga, go to hell.
Look, man, CM Punk might legit whoop his ass the moment he tries to walk into the PCG. He gonna catch
a Vernon Maxwell incident.
Yo, that's crazy.
But I don't think Punk needs him neither, and that could also be a catalyst for Punk turning heel at some point in this year if that's the plan. But whatever you do, I think whatever it does for Paul Heyman, I think it sends him into like a, I'm the ruin Roman Reigns life type situation. Yeah. Whether he's with Punk, whether you align him with Braun Breaker, anybody, I'm gonna try to ruin his life. I'm gonna make sure it could be a situation where Paul Heyman was like, you needed me to go on the run that you went on, and I'm gonna show everybody with whoever else I align with or whatever the strings I could pull, or maybe he'd be aligned with The Rock. Who knows?
That'd be nasty. But hey,
ooh, Punk?
Yeah, no, Heyman.
Punkster?
He said Heyman.
No, Heyman.
That nigga gonna be talking every other Raw because Rock coming back 3 times a year. That nigga coming back.
Man,
Punk killed me
of the final boss.
The weekend, the Raw after Elimination Chamber, when he cut that promo and he scorched their ass, he told us when you do your bullshit, he start tapping his arm. That shit killed me.
Hey, look,
boy, that nigga Punk is cold, bro. He's cold. It's no other way. Nigga said he was washed. I was one of them. I'm sorry. Tony Khan should have never fired that nigga. That lit a fire under that nigga cheeks, paws, so like hot that this nigga is like Jordan coming back for that another 3-peat, bro. I'm not lying to you, bro.
And he ain't come back with the 45 first neither.
No, there's no 45, bro. Straight, I'm bro.
This straight, I'm in the garden, double nickel.
Bro, this nigga is cold right now, bro.
Yeah.
Like I can't. I don't know how to explain it, bro. I literally don't know how to explain it. And you can tell this nigga is chronically online too, even though he say he don't be on Twitter. I'm pretty sure he reading somebody's Twitter. This nigga is every promo is getting better and better. Like, I don't even know how you can top some of the stuff he doing, bro. So I don't know, man.
Hey, Punk is definitely one of the on the mic. He really might be the greatest of all time, like for real. All
right, real quick. We might have to do a bracket, bro.
Yeah.
Hey.
We might have to do a bracket. And that's a tough one. Like,
I'm gonna set one up. I'm gonna put it in the notes and I'm gonna throw it in the group chat. I'm gonna set one up. Let's see what y'all. I'm gonna put we doing a list of 10.
If it's a bracket, at least make it 16. Make it
16.
Yeah.
16.
All right. Greatest on the mic ever.
Cause you got Dusty, you got Rock, you got Cena.
Got Austin.
I'm not gonna hold you. Niggas don't like it when I said you got Triple H.
Hey,
you have to throw Triple H in there. I don't care what nobody says.
Automatically, I don't care.
You got Triple H. Unfortunately, you got Jericho.
Jericho. Shoot, he one of the ones. Huh? You still got to throw Scott Steiner in there. I don't care. You can be a low card, but you throw Scott Steiner in there for the love of the game. For the love of the game, simple as that. Yeah, I'll let you toy around.
You said Cena already, right?
Yeah, we see it. But I'll let you toy around with that, and then we'll just come up with names, and we'll go from there, G. But let's go ahead. Yep. It's plenty. Look, it's gonna be plenty we can sit there and go off of. And
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yep.
He up there too.
Little bit of insight.
No, but the cream of the top. The cream rises to the top. That went triple platinum, bro. Roddy Piper.
Yep.
Hey, it's some niggas.
Definitely is. But let's go ahead and get into the hoops. Been a fair entertaining week in terms of basketball, in terms of we get into the playoff race. I think we're legit the final full month of basketball, pretty much till regular season basketball until we get to the playoffs. So look, it's getting real competitive for seeding purposes, and all of that. So
the Suns are fighting for their goddamn life every single game, bro. I watched at least three games the Suns have played within the last week. I think they maybe have all of them been close. One game they'll be getting blown, like that game they was getting blown out. And they came back and won. I thought they was cooked.
They should have been cooked.
The Suns is going to be okay because the Dallas Mavericks have 7 people in their roster.
Yeah.
So because the Dallas Mavericks move down, the Suns move up. And unfortunately, the Sacramento Kings can't win a game to save their life either. So the Suns moves up just based off that. Now, do they get out the play-in? Oh no. Oh no. Because the Warriors out to play in now. So
the Warriors are 7?
The Warriors are 6.
6.
Yeah.
Pretty much like the Warriors
Lakers probably moved to 5. 5 or 4. So the Warriors might see the Rockets or Memphis in the first round.
Look, man. That first round Lakers Warriors is gonna be disgusting, G.
I'm not watching that, bro.
You got no choice.
I am tired of Lakers Warriors. I'm tired of LeBron versus Warriors, bro.
Look, we know, but that's the world that we live in, G. It's destiny. It's destiny. The basketball guys enjoy it at this point. They're like, look, we're gonna find a way to make this happen. They're gonna make it happen. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into some of the topics we have. One of the things I didn't want to talk about, but Daytra said he wanted to talk about it, was fatherhood in basketball, as I'm gonna call it.
Might as well, man.
Look, man, if you've been living under a rock, LeBron James used black nepotism to get his son Bronny into the league by using a useless second round pick that was in like the last 4 picks of the second round. So for context purposes. So due to that, there's niggas, people, reporters who are upset by this, that okay, whatever, LeBron got his son in the league. Bronny, when he comes in during the last 3 minutes of the game, gets cooked. And then when he goes to the G League, he does his thug dizzle. But anyway, this led to people, of course, LeBron eventually get your breaking point at the end of the day. Let's be honest. Like, as any father do, you get annoyed, you know. You just shrug it off so many times, be like, all right. See Stephen A. Smith while they were playing the Knicks. Say, hey man, leave my son out of this, G. Simple as that. Leave my son out of this. Then walks off. Stephen A. Smith sits his ass down. Next thing we know, Stephen A. says, now I gotta do something about this since I got embarrassed on national TV. It wasn't aired on TV. Some nigga from the stands courted you, getting holed. Like I have footage of you getting holed by an old man at 63rd and Stony Island in the YMCA. I could release this footage, but I choose not to. Probably would have boosted my platform, but hey. Anyway,
depending on how bad it is, bro, and it starts circulating.
That old man was treating his ass. But either way, moving on. That leads to people saying LeBron is full of shit. That's whole shit. Why is he standing up for his adult son? He put Bronny in this mess. Blah 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 blah. Which yes, I understand.
I hate that point specifically. I really hate that point.
Yeah,
he put him in it. You don't have to go to the league if you don't want to, nigga.
Really could have just ignored his dad and said, "Nigga, I'm about to play Twitch all day, nigga. Play games on Twitch." That's what
literally like that was at the end of the day. That's his choice.
Agreed. But either way, that led to people just having a very disingenuous conversation. To me, I was really disappointed in some people because I'm like, y'all are fathers. Y'all claim y'all was raised by a father or had a father figure. And I'm just like, don't make this about LeBron stands defending LeBron. We're talking about somebody stepping up for their kid. LeVar Ball does this daily. And y'all was critical of LeVar. I think I was a little bit critical at one point. Then I realized my dad would do the same shit. And it even made me question the legacy of Wardell Jefferson. It made me believe my dad might have been a lunatic because he was step for his kids when we were children, teenagers, and adults. Let me share a quick story. Previous relationship. We had me and the ex hosted an event just so our parents could meet each other and all of that. For Father's Day, actually. My dad and her stepfather was talking. Stepfather said something that he shouldn't have said in regards to something that me and my ex went through. It was minor, but he said something that and my dad said, nigga, you shouldn't even got choked. He said some shit. That's all I'm saying. My father said some shit and I will choke you out because you shouldn't say this and you had no business telling this or even talking about my son in that manner. As men, they proceeded to dap up, move on, and talk. But once again, when it comes to me, my father did not play. And I could sit there and say, I was wrong in that situation. How I handled it was wrong. But also, that other man shouldn't have said something in that if I know who my father is. He does not play. And literally. And he respected my father for approaching him like that. He told me that directly. Respect your father because he straightened me up. But fact is, a father who's not going to play with his children. You're not going to badmouth them. You're not going to say shit about my children. LeBron is not going to tolerate a man who does not have children talk about his children on national TV or question his father's status on national TV. You niggas just this past year, said Kendrick was justified for sending Drake to hell. Why? because he mentioned the parent. He was justified. So with that said, and you guys applauded him. So why is it when LeBron approaches Stephen A saying, hey, keep me as a father and my son out of your bullshit? And you niggas have a problem with it. It screams either A, to me, y'all fathers wasn't lunatics like my dad. Y'all fathers wasn't there. Your father was there. He was a bitch. And I'm being real. Your father was a bitch. And then it stepped for you. Or 4, you legit have no adult figure in your life to tell you, hey, how to move. Simple as that. So this is my thoughts on it. If you have a problem with it, I don't care, because I know how I'm gonna be when I'm a father. I ain't gonna play about my kid. But hey, it is what it is. That's my side piece on it. I'm done.
So I try to come at this situation without, because I look at a lot of people tweet too, and I'm like, why is this an argument?
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be one. People say, well, you bogarted your son in the league, so he going to get the criticism. Not the first father to do that. Won't be the last father to do that. I want to say this. A lot of people say, the reason he didn't do good in college is because the heart situation. True. So he's just really ramping up playing basketball. True. He should have stayed in college some more time. Not any of our decisions to make.
None of my business.
There's nothing wrong with criticizing Bronny James. LeBron knows that. But what is wrong is you to bring anything other than basketball into criticism.
Exactly.
That's the problem. Everything they're talking about is not basketball. Because if it were, you would compare him to his contemporaries. Niggas don't talk about Jared McCain. Niggas don't talk about Castle. The 2 good rookies. Now let's flip it. Niggas don't talk about Ricochet or whatever his name is.
Do it on the Hawks.
Yes. Niggas don't talk about Alex Sarr, who was picked number 2.
That nigga, hey, I don't know what he doing.
On the Wizards. You can't average. You barely averaging double-digit points on the Wizards. Alex Sarr even told Atlanta, don't pick me, because he wanted to go somewhere where he didn't share the ball. It proceeded to be a
tough.
He want to go there. What's the 54th pick averaging?
Ooh.
Forget what he's averaging. Do you know his name?
No, you got it. He ain't averaging a thing. I don't think he played any meaningful minute whatsoever in basketball. Anybody that was drafted under Bronny, same thing. The people that's even was drafted under Bronny is not even averaging more points than Bronny in the G League. So, what is the conversation about? If people have this thing of saying, well, Bronny is bad, so he shouldn't be, in the league. What is Alex Sarr?
What is 90% of this draft class, G?
Exactly.
Draft class.
Again, it wasn't a good draft class to begin with.
It takes time. We got this lens of somebody should be. He wasn't even drafted. He was 55. Bronny only got in the game 121 garbage time, and that was for the photo op. And JJ Redick took that nigga right out.
Didn't see him since in meaningful minutes.
That one Philadelphia game when this whole thing started, they was getting. Was it Philadelphia? I think it was Philly. But
Yeah,
they was getting clapped. And they brought him in because he plays for the team. He is not getting no minutes on the Lakers. He is taking no minutes from anybody else on the Lakers. Not one. He ain't take anybody's job in the NBA. because I want to keep it a bean with niggas. If you was meant to play in the NBA, you would be in the NBA.
You will be in somebody's rotation. You will be sitting on somebody's
G League. You'll be on somebody's scouting report. But guess what? You're not. But I think the main thing is that he said, as a father, who are you to decide what you are?
Especially when you yourself is not a father.
Like, who are you to decide who Brian as a father is when you don't have a kid, man? You have to bring your nephew on there. Your nephew look like he's using you for money.
Nephew a YN. He's definition of a YN.
Ain't no such thing as a 30-year-old YN.
Yes, it is. He's that. He's that.
Mindset wise, I can see it. Yeah.
Nigga, how you gonna be a 30-year-old young nigga?
In the mind.
40-year-old.
That's called stupidity.
Very.
Mind. In the mind. That's
why a young nigga pass up because he's young and dumb. That nigga, you old and stupid. You ain't no young nigga, bro. Just a nigga. Stupid nigga. But like, I don't. Again, it created a discourse that needed to happen in basketball, in which we don't talk about the things and we don't celebrate the game. My nigga, like Bron said, OKC is the best team in the East by a bunch of games, and nobody can tell you the reason why.
They just say it's because of Shea.
I meant to say Cleveland. Cleveland, the best team in the East by a bunch of games, and nobody can tell you why. Literally, no one can tell you why.
And they will just tell you it's Donovan Mitchell. No.
It is not. Donovan Mitchell
it's
in
not.
the last game, I think, had 15 points.
See?
So tell me why they the best team in the East.
Like,
no one can tell you why. Well, we know what OKC is, because Shea is a dog. Right? Nobody's talking about this clear MVP race that ain't gonna hold you. It's heads or tails. I'm leaning towards Shea, best record in the league. The other MVP, he got him beat by 15 games. Hey, I'm leaning towards Shea, but Jokic just dropped the 20-20-20 game. Oh, well, 30-20-20 game. So, like,
first to ever do it.
You can't tell me you didn't put that man's son on the cross for ratings. And that's all it is. So, I'm going to leave you with this when it comes to this conversation. Don't ever disrespect LeBron James. And I bid you do with this.
Hope this boat leads don't get clipped. This song is still crazy. But Tyler, your thoughts quickly. Your thoughts on it, especially as a soon-to-be father. Your thoughts on it, and then we'll move.
Just like the main point that both of you guys brought up was, it's not like they're just talking about basketball. Like, why are you bringing up the fact that his son, like he got his son there, or like what he's doing as a father for him in the league and stuff like that don't have nothing to do with the game itself. If you're not judging him strictly off just the game itself, then we don't need to be talking about it, bro. There's plenty of other stuff going on in the league that could be talked about. And at the end of the day, it's a father standing up for his son. It don't matter how old you are. If you're a father that cares about your kid, and again, he understands what criticism is and what is, that he's gonna attract that criticism just off of his name alone. But just as a father, it's like it don't matter what age you are. If your father feels like somebody is purposely targeting you to talk about you in a way that don't have nothing to do with the game, it's gonna get confronted. At least it should. It don't seem like a lot of people would stand up for their son in that situation. And it's not about And then people will be like, you standing up for him and he's grown, you know, you making him look like less of a man. I'm like, no, like nobody with the dad is gonna say that. A dad that cares about them is gonna say that. So that's BS to me. But I think it's stupid. Now on the other side, it could have been other stuff that he found out that was said that he confronted him about. That could be the other thing. So we never know the full story. It's been on record that Bron doesn't care for Stephen A. Smith for a long time. He's gone on record on ESPN to say that. So it is what it is, man. It's nothing wrong with it. At the end of my point in it is nothing wrong with a son standing up for his father. A father standing up for his son for any reason, unless it's something stupid.
Yeah, simple as that. But let's go ahead and move on while we're on topic of transitioning. So the Lakers was on a great streak of great basketball, won 7 straight. Now they're currently on a 2-game losing streak, unfortunately. One due to LeBron getting hurt in some point during the Celtics game this past Saturday. I believe it's a groin strain or pull, one of the two. Luckily, it's not severe. Luckily, ain't tear like his first year with the Lakers, where he tore it completely. So one, they say it's on the lower end where he's supposed to miss 1 to 2 weeks. So which way how the playoff race is right now. If you look at the standings, a 2-3 game losing streak can send you straight to 6 seed. And so it's pretty unfortunate for the Lakers right now, especially they really got a bad draw of luck with injuries right now because Rory was already out, on top of Jackson Hayes, who's out right now. And then on top of it, you got LeBron out. So, and I think Dorian Finney-Smith was nursing an injury yesterday as well. Nothing serious, I believe, but he's out right now as well. So you got Luka out there, and he don't got a big, nor does he have a transition, anybody in the transition half court to really help him besides Austin Reeves. So they're gonna go through it a little bit, but so it's gonna be a tough stretch because these are probably one of the more important, the biggest stretch of the season for them. Pauls, I believe they got the Nuggets coming up. They got the Bucks coming up, and I think they got the Nuggets twice actually in the Bucks. So it's a tough stretch of games coming up for them. But thoughts on where things will go, especially now that this is really going to force Luka to kind of really be like, all right, bro, you got to get in that, drag this piece of mid and get us to the end of the game type mode. So y'all thoughts?
Like you said, it's a tough stretch of games, especially being shorthanded. I do still see them finishing top 4 or 5 by the end of it. But again, because of the lack of like the depth that they have, I'm not expecting them to go on no crazy run, even with it just being Bron and Luka. I do think that just those two alone gives them a chance to make some type of run in the playoffs, but it's nothing crazy. Like, people shouldn't get mad, which they probably will. Shouldn't get upset, if they don't make it out the second round this year. They're not built to make it out this year. But next year, depending on how they retool and everything, that's where that'll go. But like we said when the Luka trade first happened, it gives them a hell of a better chance, but just don't expect nothing crazy. Don't get your hopes up for something crazy to happen with them.
True.
Yeah, I think they got a chance. I think they, like last night was winnable. They just didn't knock down shots or play to the best of their abilities. I think that the way that roster is structured is still structured around LeBron James being there, so it's going to hurt. They also missing Jackson Hayes and a couple of other day players, so it's going to hurt because Luka needs a lob threat.
Yeah.
For this game to open up. But when it comes to playoff time, I personally wouldn't be scared.
It'll be fine.
Like, the only teams you don't want to see is Denver and OKC in the first round. Only teams you don't want to see. Other than that, you cooking everybody else. So
You cooking or you got a chance. I'll put it that way.
I mean, you cook Memphis, you cook Rockets, you cook the Clippers. Who you scared of, the Warriors?
I won't say scared, but they're going to compete.
I mean, yeah, they
The
are.
way the
competing,
Warriors
but
are looking.
The Warriors still got to beat the same exact teams you're talking about.
I agree.
That too.
The Warriors still got to beat. You know, if they get to the spot that I think they're going to get to, they either see Memphis or the Rockets. You better pray. They better pray they see Memphis. If they see the Rockets, it's going to be a nice 6-7 game series. Them young boys they playing with a chip on their shoulder, and they got enough people to guard Jimmy Butler and stuff.
Yep.
So it is. I think this whole, because a lot of people are looking at the Warriors because they're on this 12-game some win streak. It's the same thing I said in the beginning of the season when they was on a crazy win streak. Nigga, they ain't play nobody. Who they played since the Jimmy Butler acquisition?
Hold on. I'm about to look at this real quick.
You ain't got to wait for me to be approved right. And the teams that you consider somebody, those are East teams that they went to war with.
Yeah, don't want no easy wins.
Pistons, they went through hell with them. They almost lost to Brooklyn.
All right, let's look at this. So they beat the Rockets. They beat the Kings. They beat the Mavericks. They beat the Hornets. They beat the Magic. Lost to Philly.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah, I watched that game.
Beat the Knicks, Knicks been dealing with injuries around that time frame. Beat the Nets.
That didn't even play.
Barely beat Detroit. Then beat Portland.
Who did they play?
Toughest team probably the Pistons, since I believe they were healthy.
Pistons and the Rockets.
And the Rockets is playing numbnut ball right now. So
who did they beat?
All right, it wasn't like they went up against the Bucks.
Now they slapped Boston. They slapped Cleveland. They slapped OKC. Then I'm like, all right, Warriors real. But who did they play? This right now is the game. Of course, nigga, if the Warriors didn't trade for Jimmy Butler, they still would have had a winning record against those teams because they huff. Orlando is dealing with a who's the man problem right now between Franz Wagner and Pablo. So New Orleans is New Orleans. And they lost to Philly. I don't want to hear it on the Warriors side. Even Warriors fans ain't even bragging on this record because they know we ain't play nobody.
Shit, on a streak like that, you better take advantage of games like this.
I mean, they're not tested. Who they getting tested by? Pistons?
That's
Man, you almost lost to Cade Cunningham and crew. Like, oh.
Hey, look, man, but Isaiah Stewart almost beat up Steph, G. So they were tested. Point exactly. But let's go ahead and move on. So the next thing, MVP race, and we're just going to bleed into our face of the NBA discussion, unfortunately. So MVP race is pretty tight right now. We're looking at like it's literally a two-man race. Jokic and Shea. Anybody else is like, hey, shout out to your honorable mention, shout out to your achievements this year.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly. You're doing good, but
you're not 1 and 2.
You're not them. So shout out to whoever gets third place votes. And shout out to the one asshole that's going to probably vote somebody first place who has no business being that first place vote. But it's a tight race right now. Detra already mentioned he got Shea. I believe, look, at this point, it can be either or, but I'm going to lean towards Shea mainly because I'm going to give look, dude is hooping. On top of it, I know people saying, well, Jokic, nobody else has been stepping up to his level. True. But Shea has been dealing with injuries from his center because he's been either having Hartenstein out there or Chet out there. Hell, there was points when Jalen Williams was playing center. So what are we doing here? He hasn't had a center all season, arguably, or at least a consistency of a center. On top of that, Caruso, the best perimeter defender, or second best, depending on who you talk to, because they still got Lou Dort, has been out with injury. The man has been hooping. The team has been number one through his efforts and leadership because of how great he is. Jokic, yes. Jamal Murray's been Jamal Murraying. He has to deal with Russ. Eric Gordon been hurt off and on throughout the whole season, so we might not see him no more in the Nuggets uniform soon. And Michael Porter Jr., ever since Drake got his ass kicked, the light-skinned agenda for him has been gone. So, yeah. So, Jokic has been hooping. He's been putting up some Wilt Chamberlain stat line. Beautiful. If this was the NFL, he would win Offensive Player of the Year. But Shea has been legit the best player on his team, and I feel like his value is legit limitless on his team because he has had to step up as the best offensive player, of course, but also at points the best defensive perimeter player on top of that because Caruso has been out, Dort has been out. He had to take up more rebounding responsibilities because Chet and Hartenstein been in and out the lineup. So I personally feel he has done more to make a case for himself than Jokic, but because Jokic is just really just being undeniable. There's just nothing you can do. And if this was any other year, he would win it. Shout out to knowing how Embiid felt previous years. Should have won it. But I'm going to give Shea the advantage this year. Unfortunately to Jokic, because look, I love Jokic. What he's doing is legit. We're seeing white Wilt Chamberlain numbers out here. But
yeah, I'm rolling with Shea too.
Team wise, now go ahead.
I'm rolling with Shea too. I think he like you said, he has to make more of a case for himself, and he's been doing it. Jokic is already pretty much a made man. We know he's gonna. Well, not that we know, but it's what's expected out of him, even when he has spectacular games. And not to say that should discount him from getting another MVP, but when you really have to go out and get it for real, it makes a difference. And then his team has been on top, even with the different injuries and the lack of a man in the middle. So. And then he just been playing better than everybody else at his position. Point guard, shooting guard, like he's up there. So I will have to give it to him at this point.
Yeah, I already said it. I think right now he's averaging like at the All-Star break. I think he's averaging something crazy, like 40 or something like that. So, I mean, you got to give it to him. And then, like, what precedent are we setting for the MVP race? It goes all the way back to that Russell Westbrook year of, is there a narrative to be told? But with this year, there's no narrative. So they just want to give it to Jokic just because of stats. Then you go back and look at it, nigga, you ain't going to win the MVP just because of stats. Win games. Be the best. The Western Conference is one of the best Western Conference we've ever seen.
Yeah, because if it was based off of stats, Bron would probably have two more. Like the last couple of seasons, he's averaged more than his last MVP year.
Yeah.
But that's more for inflation.
Stat inflation. But still, But my point is, if it was just based off of that, then he would have had, 2 more of them. So it can't just be, oh, look at the stats and that's who your MVP is. How is everything that they're doing impacting the game for their team? How are they putting themselves above everybody else in their position? How are they affecting the game outside of scoring?
Like, it did, like, my nigga, he's the best player on the best team. Without the craziest team around him. He literally is doing it by himself. Like, a lot of people would say, oh, if Jokic was gone, they would win. They wouldn't win as many games. Nigga, if Shea was gone, they wouldn't be in any situation.
Nah.
Well, they got another all-star on their team because of Shea. That's that, I hate the word, but that's that gravity stuff, bro. It's Shea. I'm not even a big Shea fan, but it's him, bro.
Yeah, like whatever he's preaching to them on the court in the locker room, they believe in him. That means a lot. There's a lot of great players in the league that probably some of their teammates ain't hearing them. They just not.
I just think it's Shea. Like, we gonna have to be honest with I don't know how to say it. We just gonna have to be honest with the league and stuff like that. It's Shea. There's nobody better than him. There's nobody seeing him. It's literally just him. So I don't know what else they want niggas to like. I don't know what else they want niggas to argue about. Jokic is good. He's the best player on earth, but he's not the most valuable right now. Because Shea wins.
Simple as that.
Just niggas, them Jokic niggas was mad when Joel Embiid got that MVP and he wanted the best team in the league.
Yeah.
Niggas was mad. Niggas was mad. Jokic had the best team in the league.
He did. He
But
legit
Joel
did.
Embiid won because of what?
Stats, and then also we felt bad for not giving it to him previous years. I'm like, hey,
what previous years was he supposed to win it though?
It was one. I think it was either Jokic first or second. I forgot. So it was like a sympathy MVP, as I call it. That's what I really do call it. That's
Make
where
him the last. Make him the last.
That's also where the nigga willed his body into winning an MVP. And we saw what happened immediately afterwards. His body has never been the same. That nigga willed his body for an award and literally suffered the consequences afterwards.
Even better off saving it, trying to get that ring, because at this point.
Hey, but it is what it is when it comes to that. But with that said, that goes into our face of the NBA discussion, which has been frequently going on, and I feel a lot of people, and I think one thing more people might gotta admit, the face of the NBA is not American. It's y'all gonna have to accept the fact. To me, y'all should have willed it to Giannis, and I get he's in Milwaukee, so it's not easy to sit there and be like, oh well, blah 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 blah, and all of that with Giannis because he's in Milwaukee. Let him play two miles south in Chicago. I think it'd be a different tone with Giannis as a whole. But it is what it is. Then, so thus we still stuck with the LeBron, Steph, KD being the faces mantra. Y'all tried to give it to Ja. Ever since y'all took Ja's guns away, he lost the mantle. Zion is between his weight and being a freak bull. Tossed him out to Giannis. Y'all gonna have to accept the truth. And also Jason Tatum. He's too plain. As simple as that. He cool. He's great. He's too plain. Like personality wise. What can you tell me about Jason Tatum's personality besides he's a great father? That's it. That is really it. That's his off the court trait. Good pop. It can be Anthony Edwards, but he just don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna tell y'all why they not even gonna consider it. And it don't have nothing to do with basketball neither. But I'll tell y'all about that after the pod.
All right, but Ant, to me, he has all the makings. He has the commercials.
He really should be it.
He really should. And like I said, he has the commercials. He has the biggest shoe right now, basketball shoe. Outside of
shoe at that.
Exactly. He's really done something that only like James Harden in the very beginning was able to do. Or James Harden and Derrick Rose able to do. A popular basketball shoe for Adidas. The best shoe in the market. Adidas is milking the Anthony Edwards 1 because they scared what that 2 gonna do. They're milking it. So with that said, I salute them for that. But Anthony Edwards is everywhere. He has all the makings to be the face. Even though he's in a small market, it could be him. But also, you got to hit that next level as well as a player to kind of make him more undeniable. But if you want to sit there and say who is the face of American basketball, it legit is Anthony Edwards. But if we're talking about face of the NBA, it's really you guys gonna have to bite the fucking bullet. It's going to either be a Luka or Wemby once Wemby's health gets in order. You know, it's really going to be Wemby long term for me because he just has all the makings. He has the flair. He has the flair. He has the look like the personality and plus the drive. Like, look, I respect that quarter goal. Really sold me on Wemby more and more, honestly, on just the love he has for the game, but also wanting to be the best and taking wherever that comes with that. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize is taking what comes with it, which is why LeBron embraced it from day one. And Steph eventually became one of those people. KD just wants to hoop, but still, he knows he's one of those faces of the league, you know? So, but people have to accept it's going to be somebody not from here. Simple as that. And especially once LeBron, Steph, and KD leave, it's going to be international. This is becoming more of an international game on top of that. That's how you're going to continue to appeal. Yes, we still going to have our American players who do come, who will come and go, but it's going to be a foreign nigga, and you guys going to have to accept it. It could be Luka. It could be Wemby. Deal with it and accept it. But that's my thoughts, Trail.
Yeah, I don't. I might be a minority in this, but the league did not decide who's the face. We do.
Fans do.
I do. I both agree to that too. They even said that the other day. Like the face of the league really is based on who the fans really believe is that person, and if that person really just grabs it, takes hold of it.
Because to be honest with you, we ain't. Like, what do we have to offer? I mean, I shouldn't say what do we have to offer, but like, if we choose this person or if we choose that person, now we just look okay. Like, what does the face of the league entails? Like, that's the type of stuff I'm looking at. Like, what is it saying? Like, and honestly, what does it matter?
It's a weird conversation because you ask one person, the face of the league, if they are propping you up to be the face of the league, they're basically saying you're going to be the next greatest player of all time in some regard.
If that's what we're looking at, is Jokic.
And people don't want to, like, if that's another part of the conversation. Like Chris said, people might not really want to admit to that.
Get to admitting. Like,
I'm gonna make a case that it's not even just really the best player in the league. It can still, like, okay, I'm gonna be very honest, and if you got a problem with it, look, RP Kobe G, but at the same time,
Kobe was never face.
Kobe was never the face. once he was never the face. People would sit there and say he had his 2-3 year stretch where he was the best player, but you can sit there and say when LeBron entered the league, he was prepped to be the face of the league.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you go back and look at who they were, like
I will argue
the past faces of the league.
I will also argue to say Shaq was still face of the league.
They want at one point they would have had Allen Iverson up there if you really over Kobe. If you really,
he was face of the hood,
and that was the problem. That's why they weren't going.
He was face of the hood. Let's put it that way.
No knock to AI, but AI probably knows that.
He knows.
I mean, the league can't determine who's the face at all, and there's no diss to the league. It just they can't determine the face. It's like no matter what, it's like WWE trying to determine the face of who runs the place. We get behind whoever it is.
Yep. May
it be a Steph or this or that. We said it earlier. Braun was never the face of the league. And that's not Braun. Kobe was never the face of the league. That's no disrespect to Kobe.
Nope.
He wasn't it. And it wasn't a mantle put before him. But who was? Well, nigga, nobody.
Another thing people forget is that people blame Kobe for Shaq leaving LA. People loved Shaq around that time. So people really hated Kobe for a long time.
That proved my point of saying arguably Shaq was legit the face of the league until maybe 05, 06 when it became more LeBron.
Yeah.
That was the thing where it kind of be like, hey, arguably, you know
what?
LeBron?
LeBron is arguably, whether you want to put him 1 or 2, the greatest of all time.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point, like by 05, 06, it was really LeBron. Because reason why you couldn't say it was Kobe, Colorado, the situation, him and Shaq, and then on top of it, Lakers were fucking mid.
Yeah, the Lakers really didn't start getting good again until what, like 06?
Paul Gasol.
What was that, 07 then?
07. Yeah,
I also want to say this.
That's when Kobe won his MVP.
In order for you to be the face of the league, you have to be at a situation in which you took the league somewhere it wasn't at previously, or you took the mantle. There's no need to take the mantle yet because the 3 biggest stars are still playing.
Yeah.
But this whole face of the league thing really started with the Magic Bird era, like the silent generation.
I just want to say,
y'all watch y'all finals on VHS tapes. Don't want to hear it. So the Bird and Larry, that's the whole face of the league thing. Magic was for the niggas, Bird's for the crackers. After that,
and then Jordan came in. Jordan for everybody.
Jordan turned that to a superstar level, right? Jordan was the face of the league for the NBA even after he retired, because people watched the NBA looking for the next Michael Jordan. Then came the draft in 2003, in which a person who was undoubtedly called the chosen one, because what they was looking for, the next face of the league, LeBron James came up. We are not going to be in that situation anytime soon, because Bron got 2 more years, Curry probably got 2 more years, Durant probably got 3. So once those 3 are gone, then the searchlight of who can be the next face is going to be put on to these people. Or it's going to be put on to these people after the season. But again, the league doesn't pick it. We do. So if Victor Wembanyama come next season averaging 34, 5, and 7, guess who's the face of the league going forward? Him. If Jason Tatum win a championship 3-peat and be the best player in the league because of it, guess who the face of the league?
Not Jason Tatum.
The shot takes down the Celtics by himself and waves the Canadian flag on American soil. Guess who's the face of the league?
Hey, no, I would legit be a Shea fan forever, G, if he was to do that. I would be a fan for life if he did that shit.
It would be Shea.
That'd be nuts.
But the face of the league conversation comes in, where is they taking the lead after that generation goes? Who is going to be able to pick up that mantle? Right? Unfortunately, you
got to go on a run to do it.
It is not that many people.
Not even necessarily going on a run of championships. Like it can be that, but if you're a run of literally just being the best in the world every single year, and everybody agrees with it, it could go both.
It's Jokic and it's women. That's the two options of who's the face of this league. It's Jokic and his women. Jokic, because he is clear-cut the best player in the world by a margin that no one else can meet. It's Wemby, too, because he is the one everybody looked up and said, in 5 years, Wemby is going to be the greatest basketball player on earth, barring injuries. And he's, right now, barring injuries, on that path. Until Wemby gets to that spot, there will be no face. You kind of wouldn't need a face. But a lot of things come with the face. It comes with narratives. It comes with, is this person can win? Did this person, do we need to go to a bigger market? This whole face conversation comes with stuff that has nothing to do with basketball. Because the reason LeBron James is the face of the NBA literally had nothing to do with basketball now. His whole thing of becoming the face of the NBA is, we watched this nigga to see if he could chase the ghost of Michael Jordan. That's it. That's how he became the face of the NBA. If he could chase the ghost. Same thing with Michael. Can he be as great as Bird or Larry? He became better. And now when we look at Victor Wembanyama, we're going to look at him and say, can he be as great as them? And that's pretty much it. I got to open the door. So
that's what I was saying. Like, is the narrative is, can you be in that conversation with the greats of the past, and not just the top 10 greats? Can you be 1, 2, 3? Can you be in that?
Yep. And the thing is, it's one of those things where, for me, you don't got, like, it helps to be on pace to be an all-time great. That I feel like comes with overtime, you know.
That's what I'm saying. It's the progression. They were saying by that year that Jordan won every individual award damn near in the same year. They were saying then that he's probably it. He's probably the greatest right now. He hadn't even sniffed the finals yet.
Yeah, that was the start of the shift when it came.
So if Wemby gets to that point before he even sniffs the finals, then you got your guy right there.
I gotta pull out real quick. So
all right, bro.
All right.
But yeah, like, it's one of those things where at the end of the day, I just personally believe people would just have to accept there's going to be somebody international, not from here, unless Cooper Flag becomes one of the ones. And when Cooper Flag becomes one of the ones, salute. But I know y'all say Jokic, but in terms of how it's about to be propped up because of the market he's in, Luka has to be in the conversation.
Yeah, Luka definitely, for like right now, I would probably rather say Luka, especially with him being in LA right now. Like, that's even more of a reason why he's there. That's way more eyes on him now than even when he was in Dallas.
Yep. So it's a case for him, and Dallas is a good market, by the way. Like, that's Texas. So I think this is something like more and more people gotta pay attention to, because, like I said, I feel like it comes from the fans and also eventually just how the league markets players. Because while you guys was talking,
and also how your peers talk about you too. Remember, like, a lot of guys outside of LeBron, because he it was two sides of the fence when LeBron came in. Obviously a lot of fans, like we said, by the time 06, 05 came around, Bron was definitely the face. But when Michael's peers talked about him, that's the only outside of whoever it may have really hated him, nobody had anything bad to say about him.
Pretty much.
That means a lot too.
Yeah, like how do you carry yourself, which took Kobe out the conversation.
That's taking I ain't gonna lie, that's gonna take a lot of guys in current NBA today out of the conversation.
Exactly.
It's about how you carry, because they already complain about guys not really caring and stuff like that, and that's coming from a lot of the people on our side.
Exactly.
Whether it's true or not, it's here.
Yeah, and that's why I said, that's why while you guys were talking, let me pull up this year's All-Star votes, fan votes specifically. So looking at it, because some of it could come from, like, I'm gonna put it like this, how I looked at it. How did people vote for said player? Are they from here or are they from overseas? Because if they from here, of course that says something, but also just say, I respect this dude, he's a good player, I know he's a great player. So me looking at the fan votes, Giannis had the top fan votes for the East at almost 4.5 million, pretty much, just estimating. So for the West, it was close between Bron and Jokic, and with Bron, he just kind of at that point had a down year. Was having a look, I really don't want to vote for this nigga, but I'll vote for him type year. But Jokic had 3.7 mil. So
that's a lot.
Also, by the way, Wemby was closing in at 3 mil. By the way, he almost had 3 mil. So you're telling me that Giannis had more votes than everybody, but he's not being talked about in this manner. And I feel Giannis is one of those people who don't mind being marketed and presented as such. And it kind of sucks
the way Giannis holds himself on and off the court. He has a case, to still be there.
Exactly.
Just based off of that.
Exactly.
But I also think in this conversation, I think it's going to be even harder to be the face of the league in this era, just because the way the world is now is such a flash in the pan era. Everything is quick. Who's doing what right now. If you're not in the right now and consistent, if you're not in the right now every season, you can get bumped out just because they ain't seen you drop 50 points since 2 seasons ago.
I agree, and that's where
and that's why the next person is just going to be that undeniably great. Like, it's no way you can deny this person of being the face, because they're just that great.
And that's why I feel it's a case for Wemby right now.
Yeah.
Wemby has the case because he's getting there. He is getting there. It's just health. Like I said, I pray for the blood clot situation and all of that just doesn't hinder him. But it's really Wemby. But if you want to make because like at the end of the day, people might also just have to accept we're gonna have to wait, because when Jordan retired, like I said, to me, you could argue that Shaq was the face when Jordan retired. You can argue. I will argue. But you can sit there and say, shit, there's gonna be multiple dudes that the people rock with, like a Vince Carter, Kobe, Shaq, T-Mac, Duncan.
And then they lost that year too. The Lakers lost that. They didn't.
Yeah, but I'm using that as an example though, where it's a combination.
No, that's what I'm saying though. Like that's why I was saying, like, the whole, if you're not in the right now, if you're not winning right now, they're gonna look at that. That goes into it. It may not hold as much weight, but that goes into it also.
Yeah. So just with that all said, it's just a matter of people just have to. We might be entering an era where it's going to be multiple players. It's going to be a type of situation where it's going to be Luka, Shea, Jokic, Wemby, Tatum, in type situation. So it's like we won't have it undeniable until somebody who's just that undeniable comes up, you know, and it's got accepted. This is what it is, because it's like we're never going to, like, it's rare that we legit had a situation where a LeBron came in and then he has a Steph to join him, you know, a Steph and a KD to join him, you know, more of a Steph than anything, because like that was just the alternative face when it came down to it, and KD also being that face as well.
While to get there.
Yeah, so it's just, with that said, it's just one of those things. Just it's a good discussion to have, because with people always, like, it's a very critical point in terms of how we're being critical of the league in itself, in terms of the quality of play, the play on the court, and all of that. But it's also, people got to accept that how people play the game is different. So with that said, how we view the game is different. How we view the players are different. So it's just with this, and then also we know so much more about these people off the court because of social media. So like all these factors play in, and it's just, people got to be truthful with it at the end of the day and just accept the reality of it, you know. So we'll wrap it up with that. We appreciate you guys for watching and listening. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Audio in, make sure you check us out on all audio streaming platforms, Apple, Spotify, podcast, all of that. We greatly appreciate it. SoundCloud as well. Make sure you guys check out the TikTok page, Tweeking Media, on there as well. Like the Facebook page as well. Follow the Facebook page as well, Tweeking Media, and follow us directly on Twitter at 3 from the ring. It's what 3 at some point. But with that said, we greatly appreciate you guys. Make sure you share with the people. Make sure you share this video with the people, sharing our clips with the people. Let people know you rock with us, G, on the real. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We gave you guys 2 hours of freaking content, G. This also might be the last time you guys see Tyler before I put his ass on parental leave. So, so with that said, I hope y'all enjoy seeing this nigga face. But with that said, you guys, appreciate you guys. Peace.
Peace.